Today I'm going to tell you about a fantastic game that I just played for like 3 days straight. I don't know how many days I've been playing it, but since I got into the closed beta test for TRIBENINE, I would love to talk about it and my experience with the game. Now you're sitting there asking me, well, what in the heck is this game? Well, I'm here to tell you exactly what TRIBENINE is from what I've played so far of this closed global beta test. So TRIBENINE is described itself as an extreme action RPG. But is it though? Is it really? Yes, it is exactly that. However, something else is in this game that I actually went into completely blind to this game pretty much, and that I did not expect to come out with what I came out with. And I was very surprised with what this game led me to believe it was, and then what it turned out to be from this closed global beta test that I was able to participate in. Now, before we dive more into this, please don't forget to like, comment, subscribe. I see you sitting there eating your sandwich and you're just hovering over that subscribe button. Please push the button right now. Yeah, I see you, Jane. Go ahead, Jane. Push that button. Alright, now that Jane has pushed the subscribe button, we can continue on. And all of you have obviously pushed the subscribe button as well just now. TRIBENINE is described itself as an action RPG. Extreme action RPG, in fact. Let's talk a little bit about the story of this game. If any of you have experienced any of Kodaka's previous works, Danganronpa, Raincoat, etc., you should know exactly what you're getting yourself into when you start playing TRIBENINE. At least story-wise. Beat for beat is this very much a Kodaka written story. And do I hate that? Hell no, I love this. I was immediately hooked onto this because these characters are very familiar territory for me. I was like, I see. This is that trope. Yep, this is a Kodaka game. 100%. However, the thing about this game is that it had an anime 2 years ago. I remember watching that. You know, I'm not going to dive too much more into the anime besides a few things I want to mention later, but I might do a separate video on the anime because right now we're talking about the game. What is the story? Our main character, wakes up and is in a game. At least that's what it feels like at the start, and then come to realize, oh no, this world is being dominated by this person named Zero, and he wants them to participate in his killing games, essentially. And it's like, great. Thanks. However, if you have noticed, this is not just about killing games. This is about XB. What is XB? Extreme Baseball. So what this game tells you is that before, everyone just played Extreme Baseball until Zero came along and took over Neo Tokyo. And along meeting our cast of colorful characters, well, you come to learn that there's a lot more to this game than meets the eye, I'll tell you that. And there is some interesting characters I've seen within this game where I'm like, wait a minute, you're from the other thing, aren't you? AKA the anime. That's interesting. Why are you here? And as you continue along in this story plotline, I don't want to spoil a lot about it, but I would just say that, again, if you've played any of Kodaka's previous games, you know exactly where this story is going. And is that a bad thing? Oh, heck no. In fact, there's some twists and turns in there that I was not expecting. I was like, wait a minute, what the heck? So I will say though, is the anime a prequel to the game? Yes, but no, and that's all I'm going to dive into that about because I do want to make a separate video about the anime specifically, so look out for that. But I will say the combat in this game is very interesting, and it's pretty straightforward. You know, you just click the mouse button and you hit E and Q. That's pretty much it. And you run around, try to dodge the enemies. It's really a simple combat system, but I think it was fun. Like, I was genuinely having a good time fighting the enemies. And it's very difficult too at some points because I got my ass kicked a few times. Mostly with bosses though. The generic enemies are pretty easy to defeat. As I progressed in this game's story, it showed me a map and I saw in the corner a stamina system, and I said, wait a minute, is this what I think it is? No, surely not, right? And then I progressed a little bit further in the story and they hit me with it. It's a gacha game. I was so surprised. I mean, I wasn't so surprised after I saw the stamina system. Then I was starting to feel the, wait a minute. So I was duped into playing a gacha game. Not really duped. I didn't willingly participate in this global beta test. I literally went into this game barely knowing anything. I just knew it was about baseball, pretty much. That's kind of all I knew. When it hit me with the gacha thing, I was like, oh, this is my kind of game. So it's like if you took Kodaka's favorite things and then added a gacha to it. Oh no, my wallet's in danger, guys, in the future for this game when it actually comes out. Oh no. Because I genuinely enjoyed the story. It took me so long to get through chapter 1. It's a really long chapter 1. I was surprised how long it is. It's really good. It really had no really low points to it. It genuinely, this game has so much content from the get-go. That's why I was surprised it was a gacha game when it hit me with it, because there was so much shit to do that it felt like a legitimate game, not just a gacha game, you know what I mean? And maybe that's why it describes itself as an extreme action RPG instead of a gacha. I saw previous trailer videos for this game and there was no sense of a gacha from it. So I'm not sure if this was added in late development for this game or not. I'm assuming yes, which isn't a bad thing. I don't know if they intended it to be a gacha game from the get-go. I have no idea. The whole development process of this game that I've seen, it seems very interesting the way they probably bounced around ideas of what they wanted it to be. And that's very clearly evident in the way the game is played, because I think they wanted it to be more like a Persona game. Then they said, no, let's add gacha to it because they saw the popularity of other gacha games. Or no, maybe not Persona, but well, there's a little bit in there, but I would say more maybe like a Tales of series. I don't know. The combat, when I was doing the combat, I was like, it kind of feels like Tales of series in a way. Just a little bit. Definitely, I think they saw the rise in popularity of certain gacha games, if you know what I mean. And that's probably how they decided to insert the gacha system? I don't really know. I truly legitimately can't tell if this was supposed to be a gacha game from the get-go or not. And I still think that's a no. What I think happened, I want to explain more when I talk about the anime with this game. I will tell you that I have a favorite character. His name is Kazuki Aoyama, and the moment I saw this dude do a certain thing, oh, I knew what kind of character I was getting into. Oh man, and boy, is he even more interesting once you know about the anime stuff that happens in the anime. But again, I'm not gonna spoil that either. You should go watch it for yourself. But overall, I'm very impressed with this game. I think it's genuinely going to be a good game. Now, however, since this is a closed global beta test, there was some times, particularly towards the end of the game, stuff that it has to offer to show us, where it lagged a lot during the final XB game you're allowed to play in the beta test. Now, I hope that doesn't carry over to the main thing, because yeah, if it does, that's a yikesers. I think just because it's a global beta test, they can work out all those little kinks and bugs. That's the thing, is that this is also going to be on phone, iOS. I don't know if it's going to be on Android. I'm not entirely sure about that, but it's also going to obviously be on PC. However, I will say the second XB game we were allowed to play in this beta test, they need to explain it a little bit better, or I just wasn't understanding, because you think that you want to say this, but then the character still does this, and then you're confused because you think that's the right answer, but it's not. XP games are basically like a Danganronpa trial, but baseball. Yeah, it's the time when you have to turn on your thinking cap and, you know, think, how am I supposed to defeat this character, you know, in this battle of the mind, of wits and the mind, you know? It's very classic Kodaka stuff, and I'm here for it. When this game comes out, I suggest going in blind as much as possible so that, you know, you have a good, enjoyable story. I do see a bright future for this game. If they can market it well, they definitely have to market it well. And, you know, again, it has all these little systems to it. You know, you can add, like, artifacts to your characters, these little Digimon looking things, which help boost your character stats. It's very typical gacha games mechanics that they do have in there, which is pretty easy to understand, because if you played a gacha game before, then you'll know exactly what to do. Also, the gacha system, let's talk a little bit about that. If the first character you get, the first 3-star you get on a banner is not the rate up character, then you are guaranteed them the next 80 pulls. You are guaranteed a 3-star, which is basically like a 5-star in this game, at 80 pulls, which honestly isn't too bad, because with all the free gacha currency they gave me from doing all of the story and side missions and all of that, I was able to get a lot of characters. They weren't exactly the ones that I wanted to get. Unfortunately, I didn't get to try them out because at that point I was at the end of the story, and it was like, well, am I really just gonna sit here and build this character when this thing closes in like a day? Not really. I'm glad at least I got to see the character, you know? Definitely be excited to get a certain character, Kazuki, when he gets a banner, hopefully. I will definitely probably save for his banner when I start the game officially. You know, it's a good gacha. It has a character banner, and it has a, I guess, card weapon banner, whatever you want to call it, and then they had the standard banner for us to try out. And the animation, the gacha animation is nice. It's this little machine that pops out, and you know, if it's this color, it's that, and then if it's the gold, it's like, well, there's your 3-star. Again, if you played a gacha game, you know exactly all that shit works. And I want to thank the people at TRIBENINE for giving me access to the closed global beta test, and I'm looking very forward to trying your game fully in the future, or if there's another beta test, maybe I'll sign up for that too. I don't know how many little closed beta tests that will be, you know? So, without further ado, guys, I hope you guys enjoyed this video, and look forward to when TRIBENINE comes out, and I will see you guys in the next video. Bye-bye!